All aboard! Hello YouTube, Mark here, MMR Trains and More. Hey, as the kids like to say, this one escalated quickly. I don't know, I just became a little bit disillusioned with the look of that parking area that I had on the Manitowoc shipyard property. And it just was one of those spur of the moment things. You never know when the muse is going to hit, but it sure hit to do something in this area. Now the sad part is I had a building, actually several buildings, that I could have used for this spot, but I sold them. So I thought I was sort of finished, but I guess the theme of the video, I suppose, is don't be afraid to embrace change. As you can see from my other video, the shipyards had a lot of smaller buildings as well, and although most were constructed either out of asphalt shingle or corrugated siding, there were a fair amount of wood-sided buildings and even a few brick buildings on that peninsula. They even had a hospital on site. So, with this amount of work going on and the dangers involved, I'm sure that was warranted. I didn't want a hospital, but I knew I needed something to take up that open space. It became obvious pretty quickly, and that although I enjoyed the scene and it had been set up like this for about 7 years now, that the feeling that the sewer line was going through the property and not around the property, I think that was lost a little bit here. So the goal was to jam in, if you will, a couple more buildings so that the main line would at least disappear for a short time behind one of the buildings. And this is phase one of the project. Phase two will get the main line behind the building, and we'll talk about that near the end of the video. Well, after my last video, I spoke about wanting a building at this location, and I thought it's a great time to do it. It's going to be very hot out here this weekend, and what a great time to stay in the basement and plan a new building. So let's follow along and see what we come up with. The first step involved redoing the idea I originally had for that little house at the left here. That's a guardhouse, or a gatehouse to keep strangers or trespassers off the property. Theoretically, there's an electronic switch the guy in the gatehouse would flip and let trucks or any other people into the property from this location. So that's phase one of the project. Next up is phase two. What do we got in mind for that? Well, let's think about that for a minute. We sure have a lot of information around these days, and one source was the book from the Manitowoc company publication. I don't know if it's available yet or if it's in a library, but just looking at the book certainly gave me an idea of some of the sizes and shapes of the buildings and the congested nature of the property. Whatever I build here is going to have to be compact. The first step is going to be removing a bit of this fascia board on the front. It'll unscrew off of the board. And then all we have to do is pull it out and make a spot for a new building. I'm anticipating about 7 inches or so from the edge of the rail where that Union Pacific boxcar is sitting. The first idea was to build a structure over the track where the cars will go inside, but as you can see, it's a little bit tight up against the main line. So what did we learn on this phase 1 of the project? It's still important to be open to change, even on a finished layout or something that appears to be finished. Sometimes we wind up with things that operate in a way that we didn't expect. Other times, scenic-wise, we look at things and figure out how it could be improved. And I think that's what we had here this time around. The building, I believe, is an improvement. The scene makes a little more sense now with that guardhouse and gatehouse acting as I once intended it to. And I think once we're building onto the siding up on the front near the fascia board, and we have a building with the train once again disappearing behind it, it's going to make a difference in how the area feels. Hopefully feeling more congested than it was previously. So no guarantees when phase 2 will happen. I'll say shortly, and check back next Wednesday. We may have that video for you, maybe something different, but no matter what, I hope to see you back here next Wednesday for another new video. Now, if you would be so kind to subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in today, and we'll see you down the rails.